All right, welcome everyone. I am Alicia with Allison James Corporate, and I'm thrilled to have you all here for today's webinar, where we'll be diving into valuable insights to help you elevate your real estate career by utilizing AI and ChatGPT by our very own broker and industry expert, Jeff Green. Whether you're a seasoned agent or maybe you're just getting started, our goal is to provide you with education, strategies, and tools to help you succeed in this ever evolving industry. But before we jump in, I do want to take a moment to introduce you to Allison James Estates and Homes. We have a lot of agents on here, but we also have some outside agents. We are a brokerage built on a simple yet powerful mission, supporting agents with unparalleled resources while offering them 100% commission. So our team here at Allison James is made up of experienced professionals who are really just passionate about helping agents achieve their goals. And we're constantly innovating and adding new training, cutting edge technology, lead resources, marketing and support to enhance every agent's career. We are also super excited to announce that we just partnered with and launched a new lead source for our agents through sold.com. Some of you might be familiar with them. They provide leads to you with no upfront cost, which is always nice. Allison James is also partnered with several other companies that provide leads to our agents. So if you're looking for a brokerage that values success and provides tools to help you thrive, we would definitely love to connect with you. After the webinar, just feel free to reach out to us. I'm going to show you our www.ajicareers.com. It's pretty easy to remember. If you simply come to here, click the Get Started button and fill this out. We can schedule a Calendly time, or you can just send me an email and we can definitely talk. So now I'd like to pass it over to our speaker, Jeff Green. Hey, Jeff, I'm going to give you the controls right now, okay?
Okay, great. Let's see here. All right. Good morning, everyone, or afternoon, wherever you might be in the United States of America here. So you're gonna see my head going back and forth like this. If you can see, I don't know. Can you see me, Alicia?
See you, yes.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna see my head going back. When it's on this screen where you see me, you're gonna see my head going back and forth. It's not because I'm a shifty, nervous guy. It's because I've got two screens working here because I've got a lot of information to share with you. So this is going to be very practical and, in a sense, kind of raw. And when I say raw is I'm actually going to work through some processes live. I'm not just going to tell you about them. So this is different from maybe some of the webinars you've been on. It's not just a slick PowerPoint presentation. I could have done that. Actually, I could have had ChatGPT create my PowerPoint, and I could have gone through the whole thing and given you a bunch of static information. So what I don't want to do is give you static information. What I want to do is give you information that's interactive and show you how I come about the processes that I use. And also, I want to tell you, I'm not the only guy who's figured this out. There's other people, and this is such a huge field of endeavor that you're going to just make this a lifelong event in your life, because AI is not going away. It will be with you the rest of your life, I promise you, unless we have some catastrophic global event where there's no technology anymore. AI is not going away. So let me start by sharing my screen. And what I have here is, let me see, did that work? Looks like it did. Yeah. I have
Yes.
12 pages of notes, 13 if you count the table of contents. So what I'm going to do, for those that hang on to the very end, I'm going to give you a link to these notes and you can download them. But I'm going to start with a disclaimer. This training session, the materials provided are for informational purposes only. The techniques, strategies, and information discussed, including the use of ChatGPT, are not guaranteed to produce specific results and may contain inaccuracies. It's the responsibility of each agent to independently verify any information and to ensure that any methods or practices implemented align with local, state, and federal real estate laws, as well as compliance with requirements of their brokerage. Neither Allison James Estates and Homes nor any affiliated parties shall be liable for any actions taken based on the information presented in this training. Agents should exercise professional judgment and due diligence in all transactions and client interactions. So if you're on this webinar, you're agreeing to this disclaimer by participating in it. And I have to say that because this is part and parcel the nature of AI. AI is a growing process and it is not finished. And right now, AI does something called learning. It learns all kinds of stuff. What AI doesn't have the ability to do yet is to think like a human being. There is a thing called the singularity, or where we have general intelligence, where it is assumed that the AI systems will be as smart as humans and be able to reason like humans. We're not there yet. We may never be there, but that is the theory that we're going to be getting there. There's some scary theories behind all that, like AI taking over the world. I'm not going to get into that right now because I can't do anything about it. I just want to use it to better my place in the real estate industry. And I want to tell you this. This is a truth. And if you walk away from this webinar with only this piece of information, it would be worth your time if you haven't thought about this before. In real estate, your goal should be to provide the highest level of care and fiduciary service to your client. All other methodologies are used to get you into a space where you can give care. And what AI does, it gives you the ability to work at a higher hourly rate of pay. Previously, it might have taken you 2 hours to do a task. If you use AI, you might be able to do it in 2 minutes. So your time spent in the business is less. I'm going to encourage you to use that time, and I'll do a deep dive into that in just a minute, to use that time to enhance client relations. So my contact information is at the top of the screen, my DRE number, my phone number, my email address. You're all welcome to reach out to me with further questions. So what this is, and you'll get this in the notes that come to you if you click on the link at the end. What you'll do is click the link, and you'll probably want to download it as a PDF because it will be a shared Google Doc. So this is the table of contents. They're all hyperlinked to the headings in here. So I'm going to start by saying that I have a typo right here. So let me fix that. Introduction. Much of the techniques for AI have a short shelf life. Some of them you can use over and over again. But what happens with AI is that the ability to prompt and research and do things to acquire the information is evolving all the time. So what you need to do is position yourself to be a constant learner. And by the way, don't worry, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this introduction. We're going to get into the practical stuff, but I do need to lay a foundation for what we're going to talk about. So position yourself to be a constant learner. Always be ready. And by the way, if you have any questions, there's a Q&A available at the bottom of the screen. You can fire off questions anytime. I'm going to pause incrementally through the process and answer questions. So go ahead and write any questions you have at any time. So position yourself to be a constant learner on this. And actually, the AI can teach you. You can use it to teach you about itself. Learn how to be a prompt engineer. By prompt, I don't mean showing up on time. I mean the word prompt, which is what the statement you give to the AI to produce the results. Remember the dynamic tension between high tech and high touch. John Naisbitt wrote this book called Megatrends, I think back in the 70s or 80s, and he predicted that we were going to have this tension between high tech and high touch. The more high tech the world becomes, the more high touch people are craving for. And you might say, well, yeah, I kind of see that, but some people are just sucked into their technology. But Most people, when you get down to it, they want a real live flesh and blood real estate agent talking to them, interacting with them, talking about their transactions. So what this does is AI, if you're not careful, you'll replace yourself with a bunch of technology. Don't do that. Replace the work that you need to do that keeps you from having the time to be high touch with the technology. So real estate agents should work at personalizing every interaction, prioritize face-to-face engagement. Oh, you might have said 5 years ago, I don't have time to meet with my client for a buyer orientation. Well, now I do, because I can prep everything a lot quicker. Prioritize face-to-face engagement, provide exceptional emotional support. Somebody's going through it, and I don't mean to get down in the mud with them, but I mean, if somebody's going through a tough time with the transaction, give them the support they need. Show the care. Show them how you're taking care of their needs. Be their trusted advisor, not just a salesperson, and blend this high tech with this high touch. Show up when others won't. When I say show up, be there, be present, be in the moment with your client. So, one thing I'm going to tell you is that we're going to talk about prompts. I'll explain them in a minute, but you should all use what is called a text expander. What a text expander does is it allows you to type a short phrase, and you could have pages of information that show up, pages and pages and pages of information. For example, I type almost every day, I type the name of my company, Allison James Estates and Homes. So I have a short code, or I can type it. I have prompts that I use. Well, I'm going to show you right now. This is the software I use. And this is just a side note, but this is really valuable. This should be partnered with your AI. So I have literally hundreds and hundreds, not hundreds, but dozens. Like, I have all of our California Association of Realtor forms. I have short codes for them. I can type them out. Answers to questions, broker questions. I have all types of things in here. Dozens and dozens of things that I type out, that I don't have to use and remember what they say. I just have short codes for them. And I'm going to show you how this works a little bit later. So let me just slide this off here to the side. Okay. All right. We're going to go through some cautions, and then we're going to get down to the meat and potatoes of this. Real estate agents should use ChatGPT. They can benefit from efficiency, automation, but there's several things. And I'm going to go very quickly on this because you can read this in the notes that I'm going to give out. Inaccurate or outdated information. ChatGPT might generate responses based on outdated or incorrect real estate laws, mortgage rates, or market trends because it's not up to date. Avoidance. Always verify critical information, especially related to contracts, lending, or market conditions. I had an agent argue with me recently about a transaction issue, and I said, well, where'd you get your answer? I Googled it. And I had to tell the agent, Google is not up to date with case law. They don't know what's in the courts right now. They're not attorneys. Don't do that. Misrepresentation of legal facts. ChatGPT could unintentionally provide misleading information on property and financing options. Don't use it to draft legal language. That's why we have attorneys with our associations of realtors. Privacy and confidentiality risks. Don't put your client's information into ChatGPT. Don't put private information. Don't put contracts with all their information in there and ask questions about them. That's a problem. Don't do it. Don't input confidential data, because use it for general marketing, educational, and automation of tasks, not private discussions. Ethical concerns. AI responses may unintentionally reflect biases or discriminatory language. So AI can be politically biased. It can be culturally biased. It can be It depends on who's working on the training of it. Avoidance, ensure that AI generated content complies with fair housing laws. It should, and you can train your own AI, which we'll get into a little bit later. Generic or inauthentic messaging. Um, just be careful about that. I'll have you read that. Plagiarism is an issue. AI can produce results that look like plagiarism because it reads other information. So if you're writing something, it's good to run it through a plagiarism checker. There's software that will do that. And don't over rely on AI. Depending too much on AI for communication and research can reduce your personal engagement. And things to avoid, using ChatGPT as a supplement, not a replacement for personal touch. Use it as a supplement. So just a couple of things. Avoid cringing people out. I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to talk about real estate descriptions, but I see things like, every time I pull up the MLS, almost every time I see somebody saying, this house is nestled in the heart of, both stunning views of, it's a hidden gem, oozing with character and charm. Avoid those because pretty soon everybody sees them, and you look like a unsophisticated person just leaning on communication. Here's another one. I'm not going to read all of these, but the biggest one on emails is, I hope this email finds you well. Like, nobody talks like that in real life. Don't use language like that. So there's a lot of words and phrases that you want to avoid, and I've listed some of them. So let's start with prompting. So the first thing I want to talk about is prompting. So you may be writing an email to somebody, and one of the best prompts, the first thing we're going to talk about here is mini prompts. Then we're going to talk about power prompts, and we're going to talk about meta prompts or mega prompts, depending on, people have different names for them. But if you are writing, and I'm gonna take you through this right inside of ChatGPT. So if you are writing an email, you may write something like, this is a great property. I would like to show it to you on Sunday, or let's say Saturday. What is your schedule like? Will everyone be able to join you? Do you have any questions? So I didn't have to think really hard about that. And I made some typos in here intentionally. I'm sloppy, okay, in this. So what I do is, before it, I'm going to put this prompt, improve this. Boom. This is a fantastic property. I'd love to show it to you on Saturday. What does your schedule look like? Will everyone be able to join? Let me know if you have any questions. Okay. So that is a mini example of a mini prompt. I use it every day. I write emails. Sometimes I type really poorly. My typing is bad. My spelling is bad. Do I take time to correct it? No. I just do that and I say, improve this. Does that sound lazy? Well, it's lazy if you want to take a judgmental attitude and say, well, you're just a lazy guy. Pretty soon you're not going to be able to type or spell. Well, that's not really true, because I do other stuff and I communicate with other people in other ways. But let's just say I don't like this. I can use a mini prompt. I can say, make it more engaging. I don't like the tone of this. So I want it to be more engaging. Okay, so that's okay. I think it's a little bit better. And you could, here's another one. Lengthen the email, or lengthen this. So it gets a little more personal. Now, you might say, I don't need to do all this, but you might say, you might have a long advertisement or something that, and we're going to get into that in a minute. Another prompt is make it more persuasive. Maybe you have a client they're on the fence. They can't decide whether they want to go out or not. So you make it more persuasive. So it begins to add language in here that's a little bit more helpful. But you may look at it and say, wow, it sounds like we're rambling. I'm giving you these are examples. Make it more concise. So these are mini prompts that you can use, and it'll shorten it. It'll make it quickly. I'm not saying you go through this process at this level with every single prompt. You don't want to go, you don't need to do all 7 of these, but these are ideas that are great. You may have a description of a property that you want to make it more like social media. So you may want to make it so it's useful for social media. So let's just say we're meeting with a client, right? I've got a client and I'm going to show them a property, but I'm kind of busy, right? And I need to do a description of that property. So let's close this out. This is a clean GPT. It's never been used. I wiped it all out. So I want to take this property and I'm going to upload it. I'm going to upload a property profile. And let me show you what I'm uploading. This is a property profile from the multiple listing service. And it is a client detail report. Why did I use a client detail report? I use a client detail report because I don't want any confidential information. So this is a property, and it's got the client detail report. This is what we pass out to clients. It's got the description that the agent wrote, and it's got, voila, at the bottom, my contact information. I can do all kinds of stuff with this. So now that I have this in here, I'm going to write an email to my client explaining this property and its features, and suggest that we see it Saturday. Okay, let's see what it does. How about that? Okay. So I like that. That's pretty good. Okay. You can do the same thing with it's attached. So once it's attached in there, if it's your listing or if it's a listing in your brokerage, you can use it for social media. Present as a social media post. Maybe you're thinking to yourself, my client just told me they don't want to see it. Okay. So I'm in Allison James Estates and Homes. It's another Allison James Estates and Home listing. Present as a social media post and include my contact info and real estate license number. I don't have to tell it my real estate license number because it's on the document. Boom. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Right there. Okay. So what you want to do is, so this failed here. I have to rewrite this prompt. I replace the items in brackets with with information from the form, with information from the attached. There we go. There's all my information right there. So this is an example of using prompts, using mini prompts, using an attached document. You can do all kinds of stuff based on what's attached. So let's keep rolling through here. So with these mini prompts, you can literally modify everything that you're doing. So what you want to do is get into this place where you're actually having a dialogue with ChatGPT. And you might say, well, that's kind of time consuming. After a while, it becomes like muscle memory. You'll start doing it quickly. You'll start asking questions. Um, you might say, man, I really like this, but I want to put it on my blog. You could come up, you can just continue to keep molding things into a place that works for producing. And I'll give you some blog prompts in just a minute. They're in the notes here. So, okay, so here's the process that you're going to use when you're dialoguing with ChatGPT. So it's a collaborative process. You dialogue with GPT to improve the results. And eventually, what will happen, and I did this intentionally because some of you are starting from scratch. You see over here, this is a conversation. This is what's called a conversation. Eventually, these start piling up, and you have multiple conversations, and you start training Chat GPT to know what you like. It will actually read these in an instant and produce results. I didn't do that today because I wanted you to see what it would look like, just like you're starting from scratch, if you're starting from scratch. So here's the process. These are processes that you're going to do to dialogue with Chat GPT. Number one, you start with a basic prompt. Write a social media post about an open house this weekend. And then you could say, you could even go and use this this listing that's attached. I am holding an open house on Saturday from 1 to 3. Right? A post suitable for Facebook, inviting people to attend. Use a strong call to action. Okay, I want to make it kind of general because we're going to refine this. Okay, so this is your post, and it pulls up all my information. And then the next thing you want to do in this process is review and identify gaps. So this is what, just to give a name to it, anything that Chat GPT does not include, you're going to think about it as a gap. This is your thinking. As you read a Chat GPT response, and I've had people tell me, I tried Chat GPT, it doesn't give me really good answers. That's because you're not identifying the gaps and asking them, does this align with my tone and style? Oh man, that's kind of stuffy. I don't like it. Or it's too casual. This is a luxury home. I don't want it to sound like, it's a beach house. Is it detailed enough? Is it persuasive enough? Does this fit the platform? So here's an example of a common gap. This sounds too generic. I want it to feel more exciting and personal. So let's just throw that in there and see what it does. Boom. Okay, it added some language. And this is going to be short because it's going to go into social media. So it added a phrase. This is a showstopper. You need to see it in person. Okay. So lengthen the post to include a longer personal statement. We want this to be real personal. Look at that. And make sure it's true. If you're a brand new agent, you can't use this. I've walked through hundreds of homes and I can tell you this one's special. From the moment you step inside, you'll feel the warmth and character of this beautifully remodeled 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. The attention to detail is incredible and that you'll love blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right. So this is what I did. I took the next step. I reviewed the gaps, provide feedback. You can do feedback, you can adjust the prompt, and you can then the next stage is to iterate with mini prompts. Make this sound more engaging, add a sense of urgency, make this more concise for Twitter. Well, let's fix that. There's a thing I should have remembered. I keep working on for X. It's called X now. Okay. So, but you know what? Who knows? ChatGPT, I think they know that it's X. Make this more concise for use as an X post. Okay, good. So it gets it. All right. So you want to iterate. You want to iterate and just keep working on that. And then the example is a full, complete refinement of your prompt. So this is a process. This is an example of iterating. It's in the notes. So start with a basic request. So I'm going to jump down and tell you, I'm going to skip down here for a minute. And we're going to learn this concept of meta prompts a little bit later. A meta prompt is a prompt designed to generate another prompt. It provides instructions for creating structured, reusable prompts that consistently produce desired results based on input criteria. Okay, so here we go here. Okay, power prompts. So if I'm doing this and I want to have this result over and over again, a meta prompt, and we're going to get to this later, but I would write a prompt like this: create a reusable prompt that will produce similar results for other listing profiles that I upload to you. You can call ChatGPT you because it knows you're talking to them. Okay, that should work. Create a reusable prompt that will produce similar results for other listing profiles. You might say, well, why are we doing that? Here's a reusable prompt. Okay, this is golden. Create a social media post for an upcoming open house using the details from the attached property listing. The post should be engaging, energetic, concise, with a strong call to action, include key property highlights, the open house date and time and contact information, and with relevant hashtags for real estate and home buying. Format the post to be suitable for platforms like Facebook and Instagram. So what we did is we went through this whole process of developing something that was really valuable. We created a basic prompt. We identified our gaps. We provided feedback. We iterated with mini prompts. We compared and we did a final best version. And I want to encourage you to do this with every type of marketing that you want to use. When you find the exact way that it's laid out, you want to create a meta prompt for that so that you can use it over and over again. And that's what will land inside your text expander. So where is my text expander? Here it is. So you will want it inside your text expander, and you can take that prompt and you can literally, okay, here's the prompt. You might say, well, how's this going to save me time? Watch. So you can take that prompt, put inside of a text expander like this, new snippet, open house from listing. So actually, no, that's the description. Open house from listing profile. So this is the phrase you're going to type. Open house from listing. Okay, here's the text you're going to use. Boom. Okay, so now I've saved this. This is in my system. So from now on, here's I'm going to show you. This is a little field where you can try it out. So now on, whenever I want to use this over and over again, I don't have to rewrite it. I don't have to remember where I stored it. I have it on my list. I can just go into ChatGPT, open house from listing, and it'll produce that in an instant. Bam, typed, hit enter, done. All this context will appear. You can write, I have some prompts in here that are 400 or 500 words long, right? You may want to, and by the way, you may want to use this and create explanations to your client. So your client asks a question, hey, can you explain how the appraisal process works? You may have a whole explanation and you type in appraisal process explanation, boom, it goes and gives you the whole stuff. So I encourage you to get a text expander program. It will help you. It will make your life easier. And it's a great partner tool for ChatGPT. Okay, so here's some power prompts that I've written with the help of ChatGPT. Full disclosure, I asked ChatGPT to help me write the power prompt. So this here is, this is a prompt for that Facebook one that I just did. This is like my full prompt, and it'll be in the notes that you'll get. So I'm going to paste this in here. But it says, create a Facebook post to promote the attached real estate listing, highlight key selling points, blah, blah, blah. So what this does is it goes through, it gets ChatGPT, goes through and reads all this stuff and aggregates it into your post. That's super helpful, right? You can have a business of you can't advertise other brokers' listings, but inside the company, you can take listings inside the company, get an agent detail report, upload it to ChatGPT because there's nothing confidential on there. You can do this, and all of a sudden, voila, here it comes. Here's your Facebook post. And this is for 2644 Cypress Avenue. You can do it for 123 Main Street if that's where you're listed. And you can also use all the other ones that I have on my list here. Facebook post. Let's just say you want to do a YouTube video. I want a narrated YouTube video. This is my listing. So this is the same type of methodology. Check this out. This prompt was developed through the same process. I went through this iteration process. Now look at this. Here's my YouTube video script. Opening scene, Jeff standing in front of the house. Here's me. Here's my script. Hey, everyone. Jeff Green here with Allison James Estates and Homes. And today I'm excited to show you an incredible home right here in Stockton. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, we got some B-roll, slow pan of the living room. If you're working with a videographer, you can give this to them and say, this is what I'm going to do. Now, isn't this nice? It's just rapid fire. You get it done, and away we go. So it looks like we have some Q&A. I missed it. You can use AI for videos. Yes, Darlene, that's what I'm telling you right now, but you put that in earlier. Okay, all right, very good. So this is what this produces. It's a nice piece of work, okay? So going on with some more power prompts, okay? Create a blog post from the listing profile. So if you want to take over presence in a neighborhood and you want to build a website and you want to promote company listings on that website. You cannot promote listings from other brokerages unless you have an IDX agreement and permission to do that. But let's just say you want to promote and create a blog and you want to put it in your website to promote that property. And here it is. Here's the information. It gives you a nice narrative story about the property, key features and upgrades.
Hey, Jeff, I just had a quick question. I wanted to,
Sure.
Nita asked, could you just go over very quickly how to upload a document one more time? She didn't quite catch it whenever you
Okay.
get time.
So I will show you. So let me do a new project here. Oh, no, I want to do a ChatGPT. Okay, right here is a plus sign. That's all you do is click that plus sign and you can browse to the document. Thanks for that question. Okay, so now let's just say you're working with a web developer or you've got a website that you have to use HTML. So all you have to do is now, by the way, you're going to need to remove this stuff here. This blog is fully optimized, blah, blah. You don't want to put that on there. Okay. That'll out you as using ChatGPT. But look at this. You can use this, convert to HTML. That's the hypertext markup language. It's used for websites. Maintain the same formatting. Boom. Watch this. It'll do all the programming for you. Isn't that beautiful? And if you want to confirm that it works, there are a number of HTML viewers. You can just Google HTML viewer online. So let's just say I'm going to give this to my web developer, or I'm going to paste this into a form on my website that requires HTML. All you got to do is copy it. Oh, it's still writing. Give me just a second. Trust me, you're not going to be able to program this fast. Nobody can. And I know this is a little bit geek sided, but this is super helpful. So if you want to test it, hit Control A. No, that won't work. It's doing the whole thing. Let me go down here and copy it. Oh, I can copy it right here. Copy. And then we have these anywhere online. Just Google HTML viewer online. You want to see what it looks like? You paste the code in, and here it is. Here's what the HTML what'll render on your website. So this is what it produces. Isn't that beautiful? And that was done off of a simple MLS profile. That's pretty awesome, I think. So that's your MLS profile. All the stuff you can do. So let's go further. Let's dig a little further. So here's some generic prompts. So let's just say you're brainstorming. I want to communicate with my clients. So develop a comprehensive client communication plan. Maybe you're just thinking through, you're brainstorming. I'd like to have a better communication plan with my clients. So this is a prompt. You can just paste this in. And then this is one you definitely want to iterate with. You don't want to just like go with what the computer tells you to do. But here's a communication plan for real estate professionals. So look at this. Active buyers searching weekly updates, immediate updates, prospective buyers. I'm reading this and I'm going, my brain's flowing here. I've got some ideas. Okay. I like this. So maybe I've got a new client and I want to talk to them about communication. I'm going to communicate with my client, but I want them to know how I communicate. So this just gives you a bunch of ideas on client communications, pulling it from all its database. Um, so I would say, based on your response, write a commitment message that I would send to my clients, or I could send to my clients, explaining how I communicate. Now, don't do this verbatim. Don't just say, I'm going to do whatever ChatGPT says here. But look at this. I'm committed to keeping you informed every step of the way through your home journey. I want you to know exactly what to expect. Regular updates. Now, let me be quick to say, these little emoticons on here, they're a clear example of this being created by AI. So you want to get rid of all those, right? Nobody does that in regular typing. So I would say, I'm committed to keeping you informed every step of the way. And you can edit this to make it, I'm committed to, I'll communicate in a way that works best for you, blah, blah, blah. But work through this. And you could do this, remove icons or emoji, and it'll clean it up. See that? One thing you can do, I will tell you about this, that's really important, is you can go into, see how it put down here brackets, your name, your contact information. You can actually go into ChatGPT, you can go into the settings, and you can go into personalization, or where is it? Custom instructions. And you can write in your contact information. You can put stuff like that in here. I cleared it all out because I want you to see it as empty. You can put in information, your license number, all that stuff, so that it will know that information. So every time you make something, it automatically knows to pull that information. But like I said, I'm presenting this with a clean GPT, like it's brand new. I want you to see that because most of you are going to start from scratch. Okay. Here's another one. This is one that you want to be a little careful with, but it can work. You want to verify it. Market data. Let's go. Let's create a. I'm going to get rid of this. We don't need to keep this. I'm going to get a new. Okay. So this is a market data prompt. Generate a detailed market analysis for a specific neighborhood or area. Okay. So I'm going to take this out and I'm going to say Oakdale, California. Covering current property listings, recent sales and pricing trends, available inventory, identify significant market drivers and other insights into potential future trends, incorporate visual elements like charts and graphs to enhance clarity and understanding. Okay, let's see how well ChatGPT does. Searching the web, went to realtor.com, Zillow. You can see those icons up there. Now, you want to verify this with your MLS. Don't just think that they have it right. Okay, look at this. Visual representation. Look at the table. Okay. By the way, that reminds me of something else that I didn't put in my notes. So we're back here on this property that there's, and see, I've got this whole conversation going here, all with this one attached listing way up here. See, it's attached. So I want to demonstrate something that you can do that's really helpful. It's called table format, and it showed up on that last analysis that I showed you. See, this is a table. You can literally go into something like a property. You can say present in table format the features of the property on the attached document. It'll create a table. Sometimes that's really nice. Sometimes people like a visual representation. It's thinking, right? It's reading it. Doesn't usually take this long. And by the way, sometimes ChatGPT will get hung up. It will take a while. Okay, so this is nice. You could paste this into an email. A lot more readable. You can use table formats for all kinds of stuff. So, all right. Do we have any more questions? Let's see. Q&A is lit up. I've also been seeing that you can use AI for videos. Yeah, there's AI to create videos. I'm not getting into that today. That's kind of a deeper conversation, but definitely worth research. Okay. Okay, we've covered everything in here. All right. Very good. All right. Are there file attachment requirements? You know what? There probably are, but I haven't run into the limit. I've attached some really big files. It's like the other day, I needed to look up something in the Real Estate Settlement and Procedures Act, which is a PDF document that's 76 pages long. I uploaded it, I asked questions, and it pulled the results. In fact, I have it here in a folder just in case we need to get into it. So we're getting close to the top of the hour. So what I want to do is skip a bunch of stuff that I was going to talk about. But the good news is, ladies and gentlemen, you will all have my notes. So you want to work with reusable prompts. A meta prompt is something. So here's an example. Create a reusable prompt that, when used, will generate a structured response similar to the example provided below. The example would be you would paste in an example of something that it did, or you would say similar to your previous response. The generated prompt must ensure key information is extracted accurately and provided a structured, organized response, engaging professional tone, SEO optimization. You can add anything you want here. So, all right, I'm going to cover one other topic, and I'm going to do it lightning fast. And then I'm going to talk about compliance. Okay. Content creation, farming. The following process can be applied to various aspects of your real estate business, not just farming. So farming, you can generate neighborhood reports. You can generate blog posts. I mentioned that earlier. You can generate newsletters, automate monthly emails with new neighborhood highlights, home maintenance tips, blah, blah, blah. It has the ability to pull and create articles about home maintenance, social media posts, lead generation and follow-up, personalized email campaigns, automate email sequences. Okay, so let's just say, or you want to follow up people with happy birthday messages. You know, I want to wish people a happy birthday on Facebook, but I don't want to do the generic response. Give me 30 unique, friendly, and fun happy birthday messages that I can use at various times on Facebook. Boom. Now, you may not like all of them, but they're fun. These do have these emoticons, so you would want to use them. And it's fantastic, the stuff you can do with this. It saves you tons of time. You may want to just keep this in a document. Oh, it's so-and-so's birthday. Let me give them something unique. All right. Farming. I'm going to blast through here. lead generation and follow-up, sphere of influence and community and engagement, geo farming with personalized mailers, video scripts for local farming. You can create video scripts about the neighborhood, the community center. You can take the community center. You could take something like a community center if it has a big description page all about it. You can print it as a PDF. You can upload it to ChatGPT and you can say, please write a script about the community center that I can use on a video. Listing and buyer presentations. You can turn your content into SEO content. Okay, here's a good thing to use: advertising self-check. So you want to check, and I'll be giving that link in just a moment with these notes. Review the following real estate property description for advertising, trigger words, all this stuff. I'm not going to read it to you, but I'll do it with this listing that we have. And sometimes ChatGPT gets a little more aggressive on it. This is the one with the attached document. So I'm going to post this in here. You can self-check your own stuff. It has to go to the broker and still be reviewed. But if you want to save yourself some trouble, you can self-check. Okay, your property description appears to be compliant with California Fair Housing Guidelines. Boom. So I had one the other day where it was referencing families and kids. You can't do that. Okay. So any final questions? We got 2 in here. 1. There is a limit. It also depends on if you're using the free, right, free or paid version. Frank, you're absolutely right. This is the paid version. I would start with the free version, and until you're running into some problems, use the go to the paid version. You may not use it enough to go to the paid version. Okay, so in the Q&A, Alicia, are you still here? Where would I post the link? Would it go in the Q&A? Or
yeah, I can do it. Oh, I can't do it. Yes. Do you see where it says blue type answer? Do you have that option?
Okay, I'll just put it right there. This is the
Perfect.
link to my notes. Okay. And so,
Oh no, that didn't work. I'm sorry.
How about chat? Does this
Yep,
work?
that's what I was just thinking. You can do instead of doing but it says host and
Everyone.
panelist
Yeah,
only.
to everyone. Okay. There's the link to my notes. So you guys can you can go there. We did finish. That was a pretty fast process. I hope that I wish you the best in all your processes. Let's see, do we have another? No, we answered that. Okay. All right. I think we're done.
All right, thank you so much, Jeff. I've gotten a lot of questions asking if we will be sending a recorded version of this. Yes, we will. Please allow us 24 hours to create that, but we will send it out to you. And thanks and have a good day, everybody. Bye, Jeff.
See you guys.